this is a little bit of kind of like secret sauce, because I think this is the thing people struggle with a lot. Most founders probably don't talk to enough investors. So what they're doing is they talk to 5 investors, they all say no, and then they're like, cool, I'm going to stop fundraising. 5 investors is like, I just got to the gym and like turned the machine on kind of like thing. We tell our companies they need to talk to a minimum of 40 to 60 investors before we consider them as have tried to fundraise. It just takes that many. And so I think the first mistake a lot of founders make is they just don't talk to enough investors. Talking to 40 or 60 investors, it does not mean that your startup is bad. I think the story that I always tell here is Brian's third company, who's my partner at Iterative. Series A was from Andreessen Horowitz, which, you know, is a pretty good VC firm. He got rejected by 70 investors before Andreessen Horowitz said yes. So even if you're getting rejected by a lot of people, it doesn't mean like you're only going to get like investment from a bad VC firm or something like that. Like they're totally different. So you just need to talk to a lot. Okay. So if you're talking to a lot though, you should try to create urgency. This is like the main trick you should be trying to kind of like do when you're fundraising. I mean, you should make a good pitch. You want to get your story right. You want to get all attraction. So if you assume you have all of that stuff, the thing you want to do is you want to create urgency. And to create urgency, you want to talk to as many investors in the shortest amount of period possible. And if you're doing that, then it helps create urgency, because if you talk to kind of like one investor, if you talk to kind of like 30 investors in like the same week, which is what we to get our companies to do, it's really tiring, but that's what you got to do. Then if one of the VCs wants to take it more seriously and kind of like brings you to a partner meeting, you can actually then go talk to all the other partners, all the other VCs, and be like, hey, we've been talking to a lot of investors. The process seems to be moving along. You know, if you would like to kind of participate, you should kind of like, we should have more of a conversation. VCs, if they don't have any external pressures, will take all the time that they can. And it's not because they're horrible people. It's just because it's better for them. If I, as a VC, have more, like Madhu pitches me, the more time I have before giving Madhu an answer, that's more time that I get to know Madhu. I get to see how his traction is, and kind of get to see how it plays out. Also, Madhu gets more desperate every kind of like week because he's trying to close the deal or whatever. So honestly, there's like no real incentive for an investor to kind of invest like right at that moment, unless you can create this sense of urgency where it's like, you need to invest now or this deal is going to go away. And you can't do ticking time bombs. Nobody kind of like responds to that. So the best thing to do is, can you create this urgency, put pressure on investors, and then push them forward. And then you can kind of do this like nudging thing.